We talk about how the NFL offseason could be fun and it could be crazy. But man, the NBA offseason could be all types of batshit crazy and nuts too. And this particular year, this particular offseason is about as crazy as I can ever remember. And just when we think we're getting to the point that things are winding down, they're calming down, lo and behold, you get a Woj bomb tonight. It's like Twitter broke down, the teams waited until Woj could break the news. I don't know, sounds crazy, whatever. But the thing is, you've had yet another monster deal, and this is a monster deal in terms of the names involved, in terms of the money involved, in terms of the draft picks that were moved. The Oklahoma City Thunder have sent Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets in exchange for Chris Paul, a couple of first-round picks, and a couple of future first-round draft swaps. I guess it holds true. No contract is truly untradeable if you find the right dance partner and you do it in the right way. And to me, as much as anything else, it just goes to show you just never know when it comes to the NBA. This is crazy. And when you look at this for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I did a video a couple of days ago talking about the time was here, the time was right now. Show your loyalty to Russell Westbrook. Thanks. Now go. Go somewhere else. Go try and foolishly pursue a championship you're never going to come close to somewhere else. We don't want to pay you all that money to sit here and be on a mediocre team and potentially impact a long-term rebuilding plan in Oklahoma City. Like, once Paul George is gone, the time for Russell Westbrook to continue to be in Oklahoma City ceased. He had to do it. So General Manager Sam Presti made the right call here by getting rid of Russell Westbrook however he could, when he could. And he still managed to get some value in return. I mean, not only has this rebuild officially restarted or started, it has kicked off into high gear. You look at this team over the next 7 drafts. Somebody had posted on Twitter earlier when I was reading. They have a total of 15 first-round picks in the next 7 drafts. And you could say, well, in the NBA, those first-round picks don't always mean that much. And that can be true. But you can also find late first-round studs such as Pascal Siakam and so forth, Kyle Kuzma. I mean, those guys are out there most every single year. You can find them. You want that draft pick capital. You still want that draft pick currency. It can be harder to find those guys, but they are still out there. They are still to be had. And when you look at this, how it breaks down for the Oklahoma City Thunder, next year's draft, you've got Denver's first-round pick in your own. 2021, you've got Miami's first-round pick, and you've got a pick swap. 2022, the Clippers' first-round pick in your own. 2023, the Heat's first-round pick, and you've got a pick swap. 2024, you've got the Clippers' first-round pick, the Rockets' first-round pick, and a pick swap. 2025, you got a pick swap. 2026, you've got your own first-round pick, the Clippers, and the Rockets. And some of those picks and pick swaps being 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damn years down the road. Who knows what the landscape of the league is going to be looking like at that point? Those first-round picks in 2024 for Houston and or the Clippers could be top 3, top 5, top 10. Who knows? It's worth taking a stab at it, especially to get that Westbrook contract off the books. Now, you would say in exchange, you took on Chris Paul and that horrendous contract. But at least Chris Paul's deal is for 1 year less. And to take 1 year less of paying out that supermax money, you got future draft pick capital and flexibility in return. That's critical. That's sensible. So I applaud the Oklahoma City Thunder for making the best out of an awkward and bad situation. And now the time has come for them to turn right the hell around as I'm recording this and deal Chris Paul. If the Heat are stupid enough to do this, or somebody else is stupid enough to do this, or you got to sit there and get a third team involved, a fourth team involved in order to make this happen, then that's what you do. There's no reason to sit on Chris Paul and that horrendous-ass contract for another 3 years at 40-some damn million dollars each year. If you could find somebody else that is stupid enough to take it, and even if you got to throw in 1 or 2 of these future first-round picks or pick swaps to be able to facilitate it and do it, then that's exactly what the hell you do. Like if you look at the Heat, to kind of make it align from a salary cap standpoint, maybe you say it's Chris Paul and it's Patrick Patterson for Goran Dragic, Justice Winslow, and Myers Leonard. Dragic and Leonard having expired contracts. Justice Winslow has a short-term deal. I think it's 2 years with the club option for a third at $13 million. Not bad for a role player in today's NBA. Not quite the player I thought he was going to be, but it can't be right all the time or most of the time. You got to make this happen. And shit, I would say as far as the Thunder go at this point, why stop there? Like, if you could get other dance partners here and make a 3 or 4 team deal happen in order to facilitate Chris Paul going to the Miami Heat, then it is time to be barking up the tree of trading Steven Adams and his $25+ million a damn season. If you can find somebody to take that contract off of your hands, why the hell not? The Thunder should be in a position right now where they should be looking to unload contracts in order to try and get under the luxury tax threshold, and then in the process accumulate any additional future draft pick capital, draft pick currency that they possibly can, and give themselves a long-term salary cap relief and flexibility. They're on a good track. You might as well go nuts. You can get rid of Chris Paul, do it. And if you can sit there and get rid of Steven Adams too, might require more effort, more players, more teams, more moving parts, but by God, that's what you got to do. And as far as for the Houston Rockets with this deal, I look at this and I'm like, I'm positive. You got rid of Chris Paul's contract that everybody knows stinks. It just stinks. He is a quickly declining, diminishing player, and everybody damn good and well knows it. He absolutely is. And you don't have to pay him 3 more years for that continual diminishing player. Russell Westbrook, over the next 3 years, is going to play at a higher level than Chris Paul. I have no doubts in my mind about that. Now, the effectiveness of him is a different story. It's a different question. It's basically what they got instead of Chris Paul getting that bad, horrible contract off the books, is took on an equally bad, you could argue, contract, a supermax contract that goes another year more with Russell Westbrook for a younger, even more ball-dominant, more inefficient shooter, and equivalently, bad defender in Russell Westbrook. That's what you got. And you look at the whole concept here, like, Kevin Durant didn't want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore. Paul George ultimately did not want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore. So now you think James Harden, being the clearly established dude, that this is going to work? Where when Russell Westbrook and him used to be teammates with Durant on the Thunder, James Harden was coming off of the fucking bench and Westbrook was the Robin, Durant's Batman? Like, how does Daryl Morey think this is going to work? How does he think this makes them a better team? How does he think that these guys are going to jive and they're going to fit? If anything, it tells you just how toxic the situation truly was between Chris Paul and James Harden, that they felt they had to make this deal, and in order to get rid of Chris Paul, they brought in Russell Westbrook, who was a whole different type of head case, who could create a whole different set of problems between him and James fucking Harden. How exactly do you think this is going to work? It's great to get rid of Chris Paul's contract. But damn it all, when it comes to Russell Westbrook, the style with which he plays, he's one injury away from having a quick decline too. In 2 or 3 years, his contract could look every bit as much of an albatross as fucking Chris Paul's does. You got an extra year of that. And really, honestly, how much closer did you get to being a title contender? I don't know that you did, because there's a chemistry aspect. And then you talk about D'Antoni's system and a team being built around shooting the 3 ball. Russell Westbrook can't fucking shoot! Like, this is not opinion, this is fact. He's god-awful horrendous from the 3-point line. Like, he's historically bad. Especially for such a marquee, big-time fucking player. He's a ball-dominant player that's going to take the ball out of James Harden's hands. And all the while, he can't space the floor and he can't fucking shoot. He's even getting shittier at the free throw line. And in order to take that on in an extra year of Supermax money, you give up future first-round picks and fucking draft pick swaps? I understand Chris Paul's contract was god-awful, and maybe the situation said you didn't have a choice. But goddamn, son, if you think this is going to go that much better than the Chris Paul, James Harden pairing, Daryl Morey, you got another thing coming, brother.